All right, folks, it is comment answering time again, where we answer your comments on the channel. Our comment monitor is still out, so I'm just going to be going through each individual video, scrolling through the comments, seeing if something catches my eye, a regular view of the channel, a username I recognize, or some keywords, some with the most likes on the comments, and answering those. If you're new to the channel and you clicked on this video and you don't know what to expect, or maybe we're expecting one thing, this video is a weekly video we do for basically our regular viewers or anybody that's commented on the channel over the last week. So if that doesn't sound like something that you're interested in, completely understand if you just click off the video right now and move on to something else. All right, so we're going to dive in here. We're going to start with our comments video from last week. And we got Karina Rodebach, one of our regular viewers here. And also, it looks like YouTube has taken away names and changed everything to handles. So there might be some handles here that don't match the names. And so if you're a regular viewer and I don't realize it because the handles are different from the names, I apologize. And there may be some way to make the names display, but I'd have to go research that and take a look around. But Karina Rodebach says, still EOV here. Thank you, Karina. I appreciate that. If you don't know what the EOV club is, all I can say is you're going to have to stick around and watch this whole thing. Rod Connor, another regular viewer, says, still a member of the club. Thank you, Rod. Appreciate that. Home Free with Skull and Bones. There's a audio lyric thing, live performance, and I did see a trailer vid or something. All for your information. Always enjoyable. Cole, be safe. Thank you, Rod. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was about the Home Free new song, Skull and Bones. It looked like they just had a lyric video up, and I was waiting for maybe something a little bit fully produced video, but I don't know if they're going to do that or not. I did go ahead and put this on the Patreon poll. I don't think it's ahead right now. I don't look like it's going to win, but I'll keep that on there until something changes. Jillian Drysdale, another regular viewer of the channel, says, now you're getting comments on the comments. That was quite the marathon. Thanks, Jillian. Yeah, we're getting comments on the comments on the comments on the comments. It's like it's Inception here, commentception. But yeah, thank you, Jillian. I appreciate you watching. As always, Elizabeth Ross, another great viewer of the channel, says, claiming EOV again. Can't believe how many comments you got through. I know, and I was talking way too fast. I went back and listened to that video, and it was just like, blah, 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 blah. That's what I sounded like to myself playing back. And who knows, that may be how fast I'm talking now, and I don't even realize it. About Skull and Bones, hope you'll do both the lyric and live versions. The performance is shorter, but shows that they can still reach epic heights with only one atom, aka drum, one guitar, and a brief intro on mandolin by Austin. Interesting. Okay, Chance struck gold with this one, and Home Free is blowing up my YouTube suggestions every day. Fans and gamers alike are simply agog. Maybe I haven't given up gaming after all. Hope you can get a full night's sleep very soon. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. Yeah, I hope I can too, and I will. Let's see. I could put that. I could do them in one reaction. Put them on a poll. Skull and Bones is both the live performance and the lyric video, or put them as two separate options on a poll. I'll think about that, see what I want to do there. Also, I usually try to like these posts as I go along, and I just forgot to like all those, so I just went back and hit them. So if I responded to your comment and didn't like it, I apologize. That was an oversight on my part. Brenda Sorensen, another regular viewer of the channel, says, the lyrics video of Home Free Skull and Bones is a trailer for the upcoming Ubisoft video game Skull and Bones will be released in March 2024. Home Free said they will release a live video later this year. However, both Home Free and Ubisoft YouTube channels each had well over 100,000 views as of this morning. It was released 3 days ago. EOV club member. Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that. Appreciate that information too. Again, I went ahead and put the lyric video on the poll this week, but if I do the lyric video as a reaction, I probably would not do a reaction to a fully produced video, and I prefer to do those, and I think that's better content to react to. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. Carol Burnett, another regular viewer of the channel, says, there's a live video of Skull and Bones. Got it. They said there should be a regular video coming at some point. Got it. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if you did both. It's incredible, even from home free, and it's extra special because Chance wrote it. Still in the EOV Club. Thank you, Carol. Appreciate that, and appreciate the information. Annette Corrado, another regular viewer of the channel, also a member of patrons. One of our patrons says, made it to the end. Thanks for the fireside chat. Thank you, Annette. Appreciate that. Voice play will be dropping in the air tonight. I've got that on the poll. Last I looked, it looks like it's set to win. I can't wait to see your reaction to this one and Jeff's new one, I See Fire. I also put I See Fire on the poll, but it does not look like it's going to win this week. As far as reaction to voice play minis, some of the other reactors do a few of them in a single reaction or do a few with a particular feature artist. That's a great idea. I will look into putting something like that on the poll. And see, here's a case where the handle does not match the name, but I recognize the profile picture. So this is going to be Ellen, one of our regular viewers and patrons. And Ellen says, hey, all EO viewers. Thank you for watching as always, Ellen. And they got 3 likes on that. That's great. All right, so we're going to move on to our next video from this past week, I should say, which is Home Free Friends in Low Places, which surprisingly did not get a lot of views based on what our own home free stuff is. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's an older video and it was before they had really blown up, so maybe not a lot of people know this one. Or maybe it's just not as well liked as some of the other home free materials. I'm not sure. So let's just see what we got on our top comments are here, if I can. Yeah, top comments here. All right. This is from R.L. Langevin Event. I'm not sure. It's RLLANGEVIN 3841. And this user said, this is such a fun arrangement video. Thanks for reacting to it. Please add one voice and one man band to your list of must-sees. We'll be here for it. Gotcha, will do. Absolutely. Itzel1735 says, Eric Bugler is Rob's friend and podcast co-host and fellow acapella singer. He makes cameos in many home free videos. Gotcha, okay. Grace, one of our regular viewers, says, like you said, Cole, this is fun. They are serious about their music. They just don't have to show it on their faces. Really would love if you would include the new Stargazer trilogy on your list of home free stuff. Love your stuff, love your reactions, and so happy that you and the family are doing so well, because I'd love to see a whole lot more of your reactions on here. Oh, and I have been a member of the EOV Club long before there was one. LOL. Thank you, Grace. I appreciate that so much. And yeah, I did the Stargazer stuff. I've put those songs individually, have been on our Patreon polls, but they haven't won, and I rotate their new material off whenever they release something new. So those haven't won, but I will cycle them back around in the polls at some point. Eric Potter, another regular viewer of the channel, says, Cole, a very good, fun song, and I liked how they made it different while still honoring the original. A song you might want to check out to hear more of. Chris Rupp is a duet he did with Tim Faust called Long Black Train. Yeah, that's been suggested many times. I do need to put that. I think I'll put that on a home free poll as an option instead of doing that as a random reaction, but since it is 2 members of home free. This is a cover of the Josh Turner hit. Yeah, I'm familiar with the song. I heard that they won an award for their a cappella version, Telly Award. EOV member, and you have a blessed day. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. You as well. Elizabeth Ross, once again, another great viewer, says, wow, I fired up YouTube just at the right time to catch you in only 19 minutes. This song suited Tim's lead perfectly. One thing among many to love about Home Free is how they feature their families and friends in the videos. Great seeing them all around the table. Another fun, beachy setting that I really love is their cover of Can't Stop the Feeling. In that one, we get close-ups of who's doing what in the instrumental in the quote-unquote instrumental breakdown, and it makes me get up and dance. EOVC over and out. Thank you, Elizabeth. I do appreciate that so much, and great information there. I don't think anybody has suggested that one, so I'll be sure to add that to the list. Dagmar S6954. I think this is Dagmar, that has been a regular viewer of the channel, says, this is such a fun song. Love seeing the guys with their families, and always love it when Tim takes the lead in a song with his bass, and enjoy Rob's whistling. They have such a fun, clean, wholesome, family-friendly vibe. Who wouldn't want to hang out with them? 100% agree with that completely. All right, that looks like all of the top comments, and I'm sure I'm going to miss some good ones and some from our regular viewers, but got time delay here. I don't have our comment monitor pulling all the comments and compiling them for me. So we're going to move on to the next video, which is Jeff Castellucci, Big Bad John. Another one that did not get a lot of views. Surprisingly, I thought it was a really great track. I love the original song to this anyway. So let's go here, and we got, all right, top comments. This is from IK Rain Miller, who says, I love how he makes these songs his own without losing any of what we love about the originals. It takes me back to my childhood without taking me out of the present. Yeah, he does a fantastic job. I Am Squatty says, this is one of the songs that makes my rib cage and chest vibrate from his deep voice, more so than others. Love it. Yeah, great stuff. Broom Rider 1492 says, took we patrons a year of begging. Even his mom and mother-in-law asked after he did 16 tons first. Jeff and Kathy filmed this all on their own in one of Patty Cake Productions' storage rooms. All the ventures were booked that week of 2/22/22. The behind-the-scenes video shows him cleaning just enough room to get it done, and Jeff borrowing his dad's tools again. Nice, great info. Appreciate that. Karina once again says, Jeff back at borrowing his dad's tools again as he did 16 tons. That one was released first, also filmed backstage at the old Patty Cake studio. If I recollect right, the studio was fully booked, so he had to make do with this back room, but still had to pay Lane full price for the use of the facilities. Wow, that's dirty. Or so the story goes that I heard. Love the little effect when he sings about the men seeing the light. It's sung by Jeff in white top with the window light right above. Here we don't know the names yet. Yeah, that is a great observation, Karina, and I did not pick up on that. Pam Forrester, another great viewer of the channel, one of our regulars, says, this is such a good song. Really enjoyed it. Thank you. Thank you, Pam, as always. All right, I'm going to move on. It's like all the top comments there. And again, if I miss you, I apologize. But we've only got limited time here, unfortunately. All right, up next. Okay, so this week we actually released the album version of Folsom Prison Blues. This is a little bit different mix than the one we released on the EP, and we released this full album version of the EP. It's called The Long Path Home Expanded Edition. It's got some additional songs on there, slightly tweaked mixes of the songs we released 2 years ago. And on YouTube, we posted Folsom Prison Blues album version, album art track. And we actually got 8 comments on here, so this is great. Racing 2 Cat, one of our favorite viewers on the channel, says, I really like this, Cole. It's as if the Beatles reimagined Johnny Cash. I'm definitely ordering the album. Thanks for including the link. Thank you, Cat. Much appreciated, much appreciated. Elizabeth Ross says, yet another take on those prison blues for our utter enjoyment. After so many turns with Home Free on this classic, it was a shock to be surrounded by such a barrage of instruments, but what a fun shot. Congrats on great production. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. Carol Burnett, another great viewer of the channel. I can't remember whether we've had one from Carol today or not. Says, y'all sound great, Cole. Thank you, Carol. The tempo switch up is very interesting. I like it. Appreciate that. Pam Forrester, Pam once again says, really liking this. The variety you do is a part of what keeps this channel fresh. Appreciate the work you do. Thank you, Pam, as always. Maggie at Play, who is going to be one of our regular viewers again. I recognize the profile picture, and Maggie is one of our regular viewers, also a patron, says, excellent. I very much enjoyed this version of Folsom Prison Blues. Thanks, Cole. Thank you, Maggie. Rod Connor, another regular viewer of the channel, says, smiley face and still. Sounds are so good as long as they're mixed up right. Be safe. Thank you, Rod. I appreciate that. Ronnie Boyd, 613, says, yowza, love this. Thank you, Ronnie, so much. Just Karen, another regular viewer of the channel, says, is that you, Cole? Love this. Thank you, Karen. And yeah, it's me and Kyle Graves, who's also the producer on our reaction series. Kyle is on vocals. Kyle sings most of verse 1. I sing the last line of verse 1, the low bass, on down to San Antone. And then I sing verse 2, Kyle sings verse 3, and then we split verse 4. Kyle plays electric guitar, I'll play acoustic guitar. Yeah, really, it's one of my favorite songs that we've done. That song was worked out on the road over several years, several different iterations of the band. Southern Gentry Music Review is really the same band I've had for the last 10 years, but it hasn't been called that this whole time. And we used to perform live, and now we're just a studio band that's having fun, making the music that we want to make and releasing it out. All right, Gordon Lightfoot, if you could read my mind. And our top comments here, we've got Dagmar S. says, such a great song from 1970. The lyrics were based on Gordon Lightfoot's divorce. Gotcha. I loved his music and had many of his albums. One of the best songwriters and storytellers. He was a Canadian legend. Some of his hits were Early Morning Rain, Steel Rail Blues, Ribbon of Darkness, Sundown, Carefree Highway, Rain Day People, Cotton Jenny, Black Day in July, Canadian Railroad, etc. Thank you, Dagmar. And yeah, I've got a list. There was some of these I didn't have yet, so I'm going to put them on the list to go through. And I did. This was one, as I said in the video, I did end up knowing it. Didn't realize I knew it. I also know Sundown. I have heard Sundown since then. I was going to do a reaction to it, but I ended up hearing it, not doing a reaction to it, and I did know that song also. Racing 2 Cat once again says, hiya Cole, really enjoy your reaction to this one. I'm guessing you'll find you recognize most of his hits since they were all radio staples back in the day, and AOR and today on classic rock. Back in the day on AOR and today on classic rock stations. I love your clarification that songwriting is poetry set to music. Sundown is without a doubt my favorite song of his, which is saying something because I've not heard a song of his that I didn't like. Hope you decide to listen more. Oh, definitely will, Cat, and thank you for that comment. Great. Pam Forster once again says, it's been a long time since I've heard this gem, such a poignant song by such a perfect voice. The Pensive Gordon was the best ever. Thanks for the video and commentary. Thank you, Pam, as always. And we didn't have a lot of comments on here, so let me just scroll down here, see if I see anything that catches my eye. Pamela Pace, shouldn't it? I'm not sure exactly. It's Pamela, P-A-S-E-C-H-N-I-C-K, says, I grew up in Oklahoma in the 60s, 70s. I had heard some of Gordon Lightfoot's songs, but for some reason wasn't that fond of it. In 76, I married a Canadian and moved to Canada. It was impossible to live there and not become a diehard fan of Gordon Lightfoot. His music has been a huge part of my life, and even now, many of his songs manipulate my emotions. Every time I hear them, I enjoy watching your reaction videos and look forward to seeing more. Thank you, Pamela. I appreciate that, and thank you for sharing your story, your personal connection with Gordon Lightfoot and that song. Carol Burnett says, another regular viewer says, on the Fitzgerald reaction, I think I said that I couldn't remember anything else from Gordon Lightfoot, but I went looking and knew several immediately. He was so great at writing haunting lyrics and music. Thanks for sharing your insights on lyrics, Cole. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up knowing more of these than I thought. It was just probably something that I heard whenever I was younger, and it just didn't strike me. Boss Fan 49, who, based on the profile picture, I believe is one of our great viewers and patrons. And he says, I have heard this song, in quotes, which is what I said on the video. I have uttered those words too, Cole, after realizing the song I'd heard for years was Dreamboat Annie by heart and not an Anne Murray song. I probably could have made the connection if I had listened to the lyrics. So true, so true. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next video. And again, I apologize if I've missed your comments. We do appreciate all the comments we get. And this is going to be our last video. This is Avi Kaplan, Change on the Rise. And Karina Rodabox says, an iconic song from Avi that never fails to engage. 100%. It was absolutely fantastic. KMW Wrench, another regular viewer of the channel, says this is so fantastic. Quote, we're singing all day and you can't tame it is one of the best lyrics ever. Yeah, really, really great songwriting. Racing 2 Cat says, I'm so glad you got to this one, Cole. I smiled throughout your entire reaction. I don't know how this song isn't used in more movie trailers. 100%. It's got that cinematic quality, Cat. Agree with you completely. Maria Williams says, great reaction. Avi will not disappoint. Get Down is bassy. He did a session at Sunset Sounds. When I'm a Fool, he did 7 layers. All is well. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, I hope to get to all of that before we're done here. Coco Hall says, love Avi. This album was about his struggles and is a little darker, but has themes of hope. His latest album, Floating on a Dream, shows more equilibrium in his life, and the music is varied. You can see the progression in his personal musical life. Avi is still experimenting with different musical styles and genres. He said his next album will be more rock and blues. I really enjoyed your reaction. Cheers. Thank you, Coco Hall. Appreciate that. Yeah, looking forward to diving into more Avi, and that, the rock and blues, next album being rock and blues, sounds right up my alley. Dorrit Rosen says, quote, this is a whole new side for me, unquote. As you say, Avi has many sides. His music is very eclectic and also very, very good. Another quote by another fan of Avi's. This is the unleashed Avi. That's a great quote. By the way, there is a sequel to this anthem. I'm only getting started. Thank you for that information, Dorrit. I appreciate that. Carol Burnett says, I love this one. I really like that Avi doesn't do vocal gymnastics just because he can. When I started delving into Avi's solo work, this was one of the first I listened to and made me a real Avi fan. Thanks, Cole. Thanks, Carol. Yeah, it was very, very good. Elizabeth Ross says, I think this is the Avi who is finally finding his way. The first song, I think, after leaving PTX. He had obviously enjoyed working with Home Free in the country vibes and with Sequoia. Now this powerful piece shows us what he needed to be freed from. His prior role as pop bassline. Wow, stupendous. What a voice and what a performance. I totally agree. Pam Forrester says, I'm almost speechless, and that is saying something. You're right. It's almost a new level Avi. Like you, I've been a bass fan and Team Avi forever, but this is hauntingly beautiful. Thank you so much. Always up for Avi with or without pentatonics. You do it right. Thank you, Pam. I appreciate that. And yeah, once again, just a phenomenal, phenomenal track. Stephanie3230 says, I'm happy to be able to see more of your Avi reactions. Thank you, Stephanie. And I've got another one, I think, coming out next week. And I just won our Patreon poll last week. I recorded it last week, and it should be out sometime next month when we get it cleared on YouTube. Heather Heward says, when you have the chance, you should check out his latest Shooter Jennings produced Floating on a Dream. It has 11 amazing tracks, and also he redid 2 songs from the album acoustically for the 7 layer session and 4 songs for the Live from Sunset Sound EP. Avi does like to cover his own music. Also, every voice you hear on this song is Avi, from the deep growls to the high harmonies. Yeah, I think I asked that to make sure that was him on that video, or at least I did somewhere on the whole record, because you can go watch the full album reaction on our Patreon. But yeah, I want to get to the Shooter Jennings, and maybe up next for the full album reactions. It'll be on Patreon. I'll pull a couple off and put on YouTube. Jill9837 says, it's been in a couple of TV shows, but not enough in my opinion. Avi is the best, and all of his songs are so different and very introspective. More, please. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Brenda Grothier says, after hearing Avi's solo stuff, it's hard to remember him being a member of PTX. He's doing what he was meant to do, 100%. Carla DeWitt, 1947, says, they did actually use this song in an episode of Resident Alien. It was so cool when I heard it. Gotcha. Lori Toygo, another regular viewer of the channel, says, told you if you played Avi, they will come. Love this man and his huge variety of music. Keep diving into dozens of songs. Thank you so much for Avi songs. Thank you, Lori. And yes, you're 100% right. React to Avi and they will come. Shirley Moffat, 3338, says, this is definitely a fan favorite song. I don't think anyone else has mentioned it, but apart from the organ and tambourine at the bridge, all the other sounds, vocals, are Avi. To see yet another side of this amazing singer-songwriter, please check out the version of When I'm a Fool that appears on the Live at Sunset Sounds episode, and to hear a demonstration of his fabulous voice, the 7 layers session version of All Is Well is a must. Gotcha. Yeah, I hope to get to all of that. K. Castleman 6353 says, I agree with you that this has a revolutionary vibe, but given that it's Avi and there are definitely spiritual type lyrics throughout, I believe the revolution is more an internal one and probably a personal one for Avi. I see this as his shift from darkness and struggle into personal power. Of course, being the masterful songwriter that Avi is, the song could well serve as the battle cry for a nation, the celebration of a boy's entrance into manhood, or even the forecast of a rise in human consciousness. Nothing frivolous about our Avi. So glad you are discovering his true voice. Great reaction. And thank you for that, Kay, sharing your perspective on that. Really, really good. Thanks for watching. Stephanie3230 says his songs have been in quite a few TV shows. Unfortunately, only one movie that I know of, Song for the Thankful in Joe Bell, and he did the bass singing for the Blade Runner movie. Okay, I did not know that because I've seen Blade Runner, the last Blade Runner, 2049, I think it was called. Fifth Generation Texan says, I'm so happy you've discovered Avi's post-pentatonic solo work. Since you like folk, I think you'd enjoy Aberdeen, all in his higher range, about a place he grew up going into California as a child. It would be interesting for you to react to the original as well as the alt version of Avi did of Aberdeen. Such different vibes of the same song. Thanks, Cole. Also born in California, The Summit and Get Down are folk, and the latter two have a lot of bass, and I second the reaction of When I'm a Fool Sunset Sound version as well. Gotcha. And I'm thinking, it's been a long time since I've actually recorded this reaction. It's been like 6 weeks or so, at least a month. But I did the entire record, and I'm thinking some of those were on the record. I'm going to have to go back and re-listen here because I really enjoyed the whole record. Valencia the Queen, another regular viewer of the channel, says this was Avi's first song after leaving Pentatonics. The change he is talking about is his own to the music he loves to sing and write. The lyrics were singing all day and you can't tame it, about his new freedom from pop music to folk, the genre he truly loves to sing. Gotcha, Valencia. Great, great comment. All right, that's going to wrap us up. And actually, I'll tell you what, I see one more here that caught my eye. This is from Racing 2 Cat. It says, Cole, do you know much about Beth Hart and Joe Bonamassa? If not, I'd highly recommend I'd Rather Go Blind. Their live in Amsterdam version is fantastic. I know both of those names. I could not tell you anything that either one sang. I do know the song I'd Rather Go Blind. I'm taking it this is a cover of it. I will definitely put that on the list, Kat. I appreciate it. All right, that is going to wrap us up. If you stayed to the end of the video, you are now a member of the End of the Video Club, or EOV Club. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, supporting us on Patreon. We've got a home free song coming up tomorrow, which will be, let me look real quick here. Some Girls Do. This is our 26th home free reactions. Stick around for that. Next week, Monday, we've got Voice Play, I Can't Make You Love Me, which was phenomenal. Tuesday, we've got Don McLean, Vincent, a.k.a. Starry Starry Night. Another one that, after I started listening to it, I realized I had heard. Next Wednesday, we got another Avi with I'll Get By. And then next Friday, we've got home free Bruce Springsteen cover, Born in the USA. So y'all stick around for all that, and we'll see you soon.